How's it going out there, YouTube? My name is Jesse, and I am the curator for the Golden Age, and this is another
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age.
Yes, as the voice likes to constantly remind us, this is another Lost Heroes of the Golden Age. And now it's time to get lucky.
Oh, yeah!
That is not what I meant.
Then why say it that way?
Because it's the Get Lucky month.
Yeah, baby!
Not what I meant. This is going to be the month where we do characters with Lucky in their name.
You're the one saying it this way.
You know, it's in the script.
Do you honestly expect the people who watch your video to believe you have a script?
I'd like them to believe that it is scripted in some way.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
You know, I'm not even going to touch that.
That's what she said.
Walked right into that. Okay, as I was saying, this is the month of March, the lucky month. Don't. And we're going to do characters for the entire month with Lucky in their name. And we're going to be starting off with Lucky Dale, the girl detective. This is kind of a strange one. She didn't have a lot of appearances and came at the tail end of the 40s, but there was a bit more fanfare about her than I thought there would be for the limited number of appearances. So she didn't have a large set, but apparently made quite an impact. At least more of an impact than I would have thought. I mean, I've seen people with more appearances have less people talking about it than I found about Lucky Dale. So let's go ahead and I reviewed about as much as I could. Like I said, with the limited amount of appearances, there wasn't really a whole lot to dive into. But I did go into a little bit about her and her appearances, and we covered the very first appearance. So let's get into
Lost Heroes of the Golden Age
with Lucky Dale. Lucky Dale, girl detective. Real name, Lucky Dale. First appeared in the Saint #1, 1947. Original publisher was Avon, created by Max Baker. They do have a question mark, so it might or might not have been created by Max Baker. Lucky Dale is kind of a weird thing. She had 9 total appearances, but she only had 5 stories. When she appeared in The Saint, she appeared in 5 of the first 6 issues, which were all Golden Age from 47 to 49. And then she would appear in some other comics that were also part of Avon, The Space Detective, All True Cases, and Murderous Gangsters. And these were all reprints of some of the stories from the Saint comics. In fact, her story in number 6 actually reprinted 2 more times. So you would see this one twice more. Now, the other appearances that you would see would be spread out. The Space Detective Murderous Gangsters were in 51, and All True Detective Cases was in 54. Now, there would be an entire reprinting of the Space Detectives from IW. They would actually take the Space Detective, which was number 1, and reprint it, the entire issue, for Strange Planets number 10. But that wouldn't be until the 60s. That's not too uncommon for a different publisher to take 1 or 2 stories and reprint them under their publication. To take an entire issue that they reprinted, that's a little more unusual. Now, I did find some information that she appeared in Malibu Comics at the end of the 80s for Spicy Tale Special. Could not find a copy of this, but I found it was listed. So, I mean, there's not too much to tell on her. 5 total stories appearing under 2 different publications with 9 with 9 total appearances, plus whatever was in Spicy Tail Special, which I can't find. So there's not too much about her. She was definitely a lucky person. There wasn't any kind of spirit or luck or any kind of weird phenomenon going on around her, but she always did seem to luck into the right situation, and she was definitely dressed to impress. And it's kind of interesting. In issue number 2, they say that you will see more issues of her in the Saint comics, which she doesn't appear until issue 3 or 4, so she wasn't even in issue 3. But her last appearance in issue 6, which was her last new story, doesn't even tell you that it came to the end. And this story is really kind of weird and silly. I read it twice, and my only reaction both times were, really? So, that's what you have. Brief appearances may have been more popular. The Saint comic only lasted for 12 issues itself, but she fell off after issue 6. So, let's go ahead and review her first appearance, and you can try and see what they were going to do with this. They tried to give it a more grounded take, less superhero-y. So, let's go ahead and review the first issue of Lucky Dale, the Girl Detective. Lucky Dale, Girl Detective. It all started out with a public efficiency display to prove the aptness of the members of the Clearview Police Department. Needless to add, Lucky Dale was the main attraction. I don't know why she would be the main attraction. I think she works with reporters in the same way that they identify in later. Okay, so we see her landing. Now, they say landing on a skyscraper. I hope I'll be the first woman to land on a skyscraper by rope ladder. She's landing on a girder frame construction. That's not a skyscraper. It's not even finished being built yet. It's under construction. And she lands on this thing in high heels. I have no words. I mean, honestly. I mean, I approve of the outfit, but the high heels, it's stupid. Okay, so she gets up there, and she starts getting some photographs by people who weren't readily apparent when she landed. And then we have this guy who's just sitting there on a ball and hook. I mean, is this common for guys to just sit around and stare at girls while lying on probably the most dangerous part of the machine equipment? Anyways, a paper blows into her face, and he swings in like Tarzan to rescue her, because he noticed that the paper was about to blow in the face and didn't say anything until she starts to fall. Now, she grabs this piece, she looks at this piece of paper, and it says, "Help, M-U-R-D. Look, someone's being murdered. Call my buddy Chum. Little Lucky's got some investigating to do." That's an odd cry for help. I mean, if somebody's being murdered, they're dead by now then. Okay, anyways, the guy helps her to the ground, and she goes into this nearby building, which, since there's a bellhop in the elevator, I'm assuming this is a hotel. As she gets onto the floor that she believes things is going on, I don't even know how she thought that this was the right room. She has absolutely no indications, no clues. She just assumed that this was the room. The lawyer's office, there's no reason for her to think this. Okay, she takes what looks to be a concierge outfit and then comes to the door, and as they let her in, she starts singing "Happy Birthday." Okay, this guy says, "Ain't that sweet? Happy birthday, eh? Must be from Muggsy's mob." So they grab her and they tie her up so she doesn't interfere in the actions. Let's see. Things seem to be happening here. enough ammunition for a siege, and they're going to assassinate the mayor when he inspects the building. Golly. They seem to have a Gatling gun. If you're going to be murdering a public official, Gordon, and yeah, there's a lot of ammunition. You're assassinating the mayor. Why are you holding enough ammunition to take out a whole squad of cops? Anyways, she finds herself close to the filing cabinet, so she uses the sharp edges to untie herself. She remarks how she has gone unnoticed, so she sets the ammunition on fire using a Zippo lighter, appears to be a Zippo, and some paper. Now, I know that enough heat can actually set off ammunition, but that's not a lot of fire. Is that amount of fire enough to set off the ammunition? Well, I guess we'll have to go for the suspension of disbelief. The ammunition starts to ignite, and everybody runs all in a panic. And nobody from the outside seems to notice that there is exploding ammunition in a room. Now, she says, easy now. Here, cool off a bit. So, I think that she's gotten some sort of a fire extinguisher to put out the fire. A fire extinguisher I'm not familiar with. Okay, so she runs out of the room, and it says minutes later, how did you get down to the ground floor to the police so quickly? Did you jump out of a window? I mean, you went up in an elevator, so we know that you're not on the first floor. How do you get down so fast in minutes? Anyway, she tells the police officer, and he seems uninterested in her story. So it says, Lucky suddenly starts moving Lucky suddenly stops talking and starts moving. Quick, chum, hoist me into the blue yonder. Sure, okay. It shows her taking the police car because the police officer says, hey, bring that back. You can't. Okay. The steel frame construction building is right next to the building where they were going to assassinate the mayor, and she jumps in the car. If these two buildings are right next door to each other, why did she need to take the police car? And how far did she possibly drive? I mean, in the previous scene, we see the guy on the hook and ball right next to the police car. How far did she go? Alright, that doesn't make any sense. So, she gets hoisted up, and apparently she has a tear gas gun. Now, considering that she was just in the police vehicle, I'm going to let that go and assuming that that's where she got it from. But I'm more concerned to why it was so unsecure that she got easy access to it. Alright, this suspension of disbelief is going really far on this one. And now we're coming to the end of the issue. The mayor is thanking her, even though I don't quite know if he knows completely what's going on. It's later below. And the crane operator, or at least the crane rider, gives her the paper, the other half of the paper that she had. Help Murdoch clean our city. Vote a one-way ticket. Now, I have a problem with this. Nobody is going to print a mayoral thing like this. I mean, look at all of this blank page that's over there. Who is going to print a thing like that, leaving that much of gap space? Now, I mean, like if they had put a seal of the city or something like that, but this is printed in just a way that if it was ripped like this, there's no... This is completely unbelievable the way this paper is ripped. Oh, anyway. More exciting adventures with glamorous Lucky Dale in the next Saint Comics. And she is in the next issue. Okay, I hope you liked this video. I hope you learned something about it. We got more characters with Lucky coming up in their name. And as I said, for the next month, we are going to be doing timely characters. So if there's anyone that you want to see, I've already got one that's going to be on the list now, which I kind of consider doing already. you go ahead and let me know. We'll make sure that we cover the timely characters in the month of June. So until then, I'll be seeing you.